Hey guys, this is NHS 6. Hello and welcome to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages. We're going to go ahead and start a new game here, and thanks to you many viewers who recommended this, as part of our viewer participation request, the name of our hero is none other than Steve. So let's go ahead and get started. So we are brazenly told to accept the quest, so we shall do nothing but, as the world gradually clears out, we're going to continue heading north, as we are beckoned with a distress call. There's a fat blue woman who's being chased by Octoroks, but they scurry away in our presence. That's right. We are none other than Steve the hero, with our Triforce on our left hand. However, we will soon find out that this is Impa. She is Hyrule's nurse for Princess Zelda. And we are looking for a Nayru. She would like us to bring her to this person. Got some monkeys over here. And a strange stone. This is the only place in the entire game where we'll see this stone. She's very enamored by this rock. But unfortunately, she is too fat to move it herself. So she backs away, as always, as was expected, and Steve easily pushes it away. So we're going to continue heading north, and we are given the first opportunity to hear one of the best songs in the game. This is Nayru's song. I will most likely link in the description. I will link to the Zelda reorchestrated version of this. It is quite good, and I think you will all enjoy it. So let's go ahead and talk to our animal friends here, which can talk, which is weird. But that happens. So there's a parrot, a bear, a young boy. I mean, we're all animals after all. A monkey, which I'm not really sure how that's a monkey because it doesn't look like a monkey to me. But whatever. And a bunny. Talking to the bear again. He'll move aside and let us come closer. We are apparently standing on top of that fat woman's head. Here's a cartoon representation of what we're seeing. Apparently Link has synesthesia. He can visualize music in color form. Amazing. No doubt about it. Now this quirky fellow, who is modeled after Richard from Link's Awakening, brought us here with a bird. His name is Ralph. He's an old friend of Nayru's. So apparently there was some problem going on previously, which is why we came from Hyrule, but there's going to be a few more problems here in the near future. We were brought here as a protector, similarly to Ralph in his protection of Nayru. Ralph is quite the cocky son of a gun, but it's all in good taste in protection of Nayru. And here we get some 2D side-scrolling music. And please look at the bear. Oh my goodness. Oh, shoot. So Nayru is apparently the Oracle of Ages, for which this game is named. Fat woman, 360s out of the way. And a demon comes forth from her lifeless body, and it zooms around the screen and materializes into this, looks like a woman with a belly shirt on. But unfortunately, Steve's ability to move that rock allowed this demon woman to possess Impa and get past the sacred barrier, giving her access to Nayru. What have we done? This is like Adam and Eve. I blame the women. Silly, silly, demonic women. Always trying to do bad things. And Ralph here quickly jumps into action, but unfortunately, if he were to attack the demon, he would also be harming Nayru. So Ralph is unfortunately going to be kept at bay. And this evil demon apparently looks to Nayru to be able to manipulate time. That is a time portal above her head, as you can see. She heads into the past to wreak havoc. Yes. Whatever shall we do? Now here is a cutscene showing the atrocity of this demon's work. She turned that young, vivacious boy into an old man. She is shaming Jane Goodall by killing all the monkeys. And this horribly ugly woman with her face looks like it's melting, turning her son into stone, causing quite alarm. And this is some good music too. Very downtrodden, quite fitting. That's right. And Ralph magically floats to in front of us. But he takes this upon himself, feeling as though he did not do a good enough job of protecting her. However, this was technically that fat blue woman's fault for being possessed, but, I mean, that's here nor there. So Ralph scurries off, determined to help Nayru. And finally, this portly female comes to grips. Aha. So apparently the troubles that were coming before was that they desired to take Nayru to Hyrule for help, but instead the reverse has happened. That's right. Labrynna is the landmass that we're currently on, with Labrynna City being the place that we will be headed. And very quickly, we are given the wooden swords as the very first weapon. Can we go meet the Maku Tree? Of course. Oh, it's Labrynna Village. Sorry. Nayru's house is in the woods east of here. That's where she'll be. But she's useless for quite a while. So do we care? No. But we are going to make one of the very first and fundamental changes in the game. I'm an A-button sword user. So that's how that's going to be. And if you don't like it, you can complain to me if you want to. But I'm not going to change it. So mean. Now we'll go on a tour of Labrynna Village later. But for now, we've got a rendezvous with the Maku Tree. No time to putz around. This is serious business. This Maku Road, unlike the Maku Road that we will maybe visit in the past, it's very straightforward. Leads straight here. Alright. So, here we got a large tree. The eyes are quite scary. It is female in this game, which is a contrast to the male version in Seasons. So that's right. So the impure Varen is trying to wreak havoc in the past to fudge up the present, and apparently she is having, this looks like a Windows Movie Maker visual effect, multicolored. So yes, there are problems in the past which are harming the Maku Tree, and she disappears. What on earth? But thankfully here's Ralph to fill us in. Some common sense. This is a time portal, as you can see. And Ralph zooms off into the past. That's actually not what the sound that time portal makes, and I'll show you what it does. This is the animation that you guys will see very frequently throughout the game as I traverse through the present and the past. Alright. So, this past citizen is quite weirded out by our actions and time travel, so he skedaddles. So, as you can see, we got some dirt here in the way, so we can't actually get to the Maku Tree right now. So that's going to be a bit of a problem. However, as you'll soon find out, things in the past are quite a bit different than things in the present. One of the largest and most significant differences to the narrative is this area down here. Actually, let's go ahead and talk to this guy. Exactly, just work, work, work. So, what exactly is this? Entry to the tower being built to the heavens. Huh. So apparently there's a monarchy in the past, 400 years ago, with this tower being built as a landmarker for Queen Ambi's love to come back to her. But her recent motivations and changes in forcing the peasants to work overtime has had it changed to be named the Black Tower. So this strapping construction worker is going to move aside and allow us entrance to this Black Tower. Let's go ahead and take a look around. There's not really too much you can do here now. It will become more important later on, but for now it's kind of useless. You can see there's peasants hacking away at the dirt with their pickaxes. Definitely no Minecraft, that's for sure. So if we talk to this guy, he'll give us a digging tool. Calls us Sunny. And we are given our very first secondary item, which is the shovel. Now, unfortunately, this game, the shovel is pretty useless. Seasons, on the other hand, pretty useful, but here, definitely not true. However, we can get our very first and incredibly early piece of heart. 4 of those, like it says, gives you a heart container, and they're actually, I'll be getting another one by the end of this video. So the heart pieces and some of the items in this game come by quite quickly. So this game is a little bit more generous than Seasons is at the get-go. But that's alright. Apparently they were prompting you for the challenge that will be the game later, because the dungeons are quite difficult in this game later on. The early ones, not so much. However, with our new shovel, we can enter the Maku Road, which is definitely more puzzling than its present version. When we take our first damage of the game, that's great. Should I make a, No, I shouldn't. Okay. So anyway, these here are gels. They jump onto you, they will slow you down. These ones can't actually harm you. Their larger variety can, on the other hand. Coming in this room, avoid going to the left. It's pointless. So instead, what we need to do is head to the right and press the switch, which will open up a brand new, if not aged, treasure chest. This is quite a neat aesthetic that they put in the game, where the treasure chests from the past are kind of old and look like wooden chests compared to the newer looking ones from the present. It's pretty neat if you ask me. I like that adaptation that they made. A lot of the things that you'll see in this game, aesthetic-wise, were taken from Link's Awakening with some differences, but that was obviously the engine made for this game. We got a small key, as you can see in the upper right-hand corner. We just used it. In this game, small keys were displayed on the main hub, which is kind of convenient, unlike Link's Awakening, where you had to go to the menu screen to see them. And here, as you can see, is our second heart piece, and we're not even in the first dungeon yet, so that's pretty cool. They will be few and far between, however, from this point. Alright, so this is the last room, right before we get to an onion being attacked by 2 pigs. That makes sense, right? So, these 2 evil doers are causing this onion much strife, so we must dispatch them, which excites the onion a lot. It appears to be quite thankful. So this is actually the Maku tree. So, lesson kids, onions turn into trees, plant them in the ground, or in a swamp area, and in 400 years they'll turn into a tree. So that's your botany lesson for the day. Enjoy that. Alright. So, she has fallen in love due to our virtuous actions, but, I mean, she ain't no thing. So let's go ahead and jump back in this time portal, which will take us to the present, and onwards to our very first dungeon. There we go, we get dropped off. But before we progress, got another viewer participation addendum to make. This here is Blossom with her husband Bippin with the crazy leaf hat. And she's having a child, but she can't choose a name. So, who better to ask than the hero Steve? Now, thanks to you guys, Jeff, Lars, and I decided the baby would be named Marty. That's right. That is absolutely correct. It's a fine name. He seems happy. That's correct. So we'll check on him from time to time, as will Jeff Lars in his game, and we'll see him develop into a strapping young lad. Maybe. Alright. So the past actions by Varen are causing the Macattree some strife. However, she does remember us. She looks a little glassy-eyed, so maybe she enjoyed some bad grass. So she said she was going to marry us in the past, but that ain't cool. I mean, I've heard of marrying animals like dolphins and dogs and stuff, but you can't marry trees. They're not real. They ain't alive. Alright, so yes, we want to talk about Varen. We are goal-oriented. Unlike this tree here, who just wants to lollygag and procreate, which is gross. Can't do that. Plant and animal cells don't mix like that, tree. Alright. So, we have to stop Varen and rescue Nayru. No, I don't want to hear you blabber on. So we need the 8 essences of time, with the 8 essences of nature and seasons, in order to see the truth. This whole collecting items deal was originated with Link's Awakening, which is pretty cool. And her memory is fading, but she will get her memory back with every essence that we collect. And she will tell us the first, which is in the old graveyard to the east. And for help along our way, we get a seed satchel with ember seeds. So this game, once again, is very generous and gives us wrong button, and gives us our first item of the game. So with this seed satchel, we get ember seeds. There are 5 types of seeds in total, but we'll come to that later. And they allow you to burn down small trees like that to get cool items like rupees and things like that. Now we'll do a tour of Labrynna Village later, but for now, we're headed to the old graveyard. Now, from here on, the game will be structured in terms of how I will record, where I will do dungeon, followed by overworld progression, then dungeon, and overworld progression. So that's basically how the updates will be structured, so as to not have any dead space, and keep you guys entertained the entire time. So we come across 3 little boys here, who are all quite scared to go into the cave. And they are afraid of none other than a ghost. Thank God it's not the same ghost from Link's Awakening, because that one made me want to kill myself. But if we come over here, we'll find 2 small trees. The one that you want to burn is the bottom one. The top one doesn't give you anything. And if you're playing on an emulator, which I may or may not be, you'll find out is that you can see this without actually using the ember seeds. However, I'm going to light it up just for you guys who are actually playing it on the legitimate Game Boy Color, and I'll go ahead and waste. Go ahead and waste an ember seed, that's fine. Alright, so if we head north with this brand new graveyard key that we have, we'll find out is that by passing all of these trees, we come to a gate here. Let's go ahead and plug this key in, bust that gate down, and then head down to our very first dungeon of the game. Quite exciting. It is down this bridge and to the right. However, not going to be able to do that until next time. So guys, thanks for watching. I've been NHSDLO6, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.